Crazy how fast time goes. I can't believe it's already coming up on my 1 year of making the video of why I started my excavation business. Today I'm bringing you guys along with this 36-inch culvert install we're doing in Freedom, Indiana, in the middle of nowhere. You can tell I still got the 16-foot dump trailer. I got a 36-inch, 20-foot long culvert in there. If it fits, it ships. Am I right? So we got that squared away. The 308's already on the job site that I rented, and then I have Zach coming to pick up the skiddy here in a little bit, and we're gonna head out. But I figured I'd do a 1 year check-in and basically do a review of how my first year in business went, which again, this is a side business. This isn't my full-time job. I still do HVAC Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sundays, 3 weekends a month typically, I'll do excavation work. But yeah, I'll get on the road, get you guys filming inside the cab, and I'll explain how my first year went and what I've learned and what I've learned, what I don't like to do, what I do like to do. And yeah, it's been a really good year, honestly, and it looks like 2023 is going to be even better. So roll with us. Well, I forgot to film on the way to the job site, but I'm going to get you on the way home. So let me fill you in on how my first year in business went and what I've learned. So first things first, getting into this business after a year's time, a good insurance agent is a must. One that's willing to work with rental companies if you rent equipment, and one that's good, one that will cover you with what you need to be covered with. Because every contractor, if you work for a contractor, some people require different kind of liability insurance. Like if you want to go on their property, or if they tear something out, or do a demo, every person, every contractor is different. So to find somebody that can help you and give you the right policy and change it if you need to, that's really important. Another thing is know your material cost. Like really know the material cost before you even go. Like if you're gonna go on an estimate and someone's like, I want to install a French drain system, before you even go out there, try to look up, call around the local pipe supply places, or if you use Lowe's Menards, that's fine. I don't recommend that. You get better deals typically in like an actual pipe supply store. Call, get the rate, and have it. Get the rate, and then don't forget to add sales tax, because I've done this. I've got called on price, and I didn't add sales tax, and I bought 700 foot of 4-inch Schedule 35. I don't know if you guys are familiar with how much Schedule 35 is. It's outrageous. That sales tax cost me a little bit. So don't forget to do that. After you get your prices, when you go on an estimate, it's always good to, I found this to be really helpful, is to give the customer not an exact number, but a really close ballpark number in person. That's good face value. And be upfront with them. Be like, let's just say you're doing a driveway extension or whatever, you need 2 triaxles of gravel, whatever. Just say, it could be my 4-hour minimum for my machine. I recommend doing that. If you go anywhere with your machine, I recommend at least a 4-hour minimum of some sort. I personally do 600 or 700, depending on how far it is, 4-hour minimum. And then include like gravel price, just shoot from the hip and go a little high, and say it could be, a little high, a little low. And the reason I do this is because once you send a legit proposal, it doesn't look too far-fetched. If they estimate like pretty close, they know you did your homework, they like that. Another thing that I really learned, it's communication with the customer. If you even have the slightest doubt or question about something on their end with what they want, call them and ask them, and just say, hey, I'm just going to make sure we're on the same page with this, and then make damn sure you know what they want before you put them to the ground. And in your proposal, I like to do like bullet points. So I use QuickBooks, and I like to do bullet points and actually put, so grade from, or lot clear for new building, building pad, say 3-day skid steer rate, my labor rate, and then if you need fill dirt whatever brought in, and say if any additional, at the bottom I put like 2 stars or asterisks, and say any additional work added on, subject to change price without change order. Like you have to put that in writing. Although if you have a handshake with somebody in an estimate, and they say, yeah, no problem. I've had people before say, we started the job, shit had changed, they tried to have me do more than what I initially bid for, and they wouldn't pay me more after I did it all. And they said, well, that wasn't what was in writing. You gave us this price. So always put it in writing. If what you're going to do, what your scope of work is for that job, put it in freaking writing and say, that's when you agreed to accept my estimate, customer, this is what you signed up for. Let's see, what else can I think of? I should should have wrote down bullet points to talk about, but it's not how I roll. As far as advertising, so I still only stick with advertising. The only advertising I still do is from Facebook, my personal Facebook page, and word of mouth. When you do good work and you're honest and you're upfront with people, your phone will ring. Like it will ring. And just when you think you're kind of getting sketched out, you're like, I don't know if phone's gonna ring, it rings. So just make sure you do good work. I guess you guys probably want to know about this. So my first year of business, okay, 1 calendar year, part-time owner-operator excavation company. I had no employees, just myself. A few people helped me on the side. I paid them just cash because I didn't want to have to do 1099 or whatever. I did a little under $200,000 this year in business. When I say that, when I did 200,000 does not mean I made 200,000. It means it's how much my business, like money went to my business. I profited like 17 or 18,000, which I was trying to show a loss in my first year for tax purposes, but I didn't do my taxes right. I didn't keep track of stuff like I'm supposed to. So another thing, keep track of every freaking receipt every purchase you make that's for your business or could be towards your business. Keep track of it. Try to write it off if you can. 9 times out of 10, if you use it even remotely for your business, you can write it off. The scope of work I tried to stick to was I did a lot of driveways, a lot clears. I did a brand new driveway, like it was like let's see, it was 750 foot and it was a new cut through the woods. I had to put in 3 culverts. That was the biggest project I did last year. That was a $20,000 job. It was really a good learning experience. I used like geogrid matting and everything, and thankfully that customer was super nice and was worked with me on price, and if something came up he was cool with changing everything. So that was cool. Let's see what else. I did quite a few dirt bike tracks, which if you follow my YouTube channel you see that. Dirt bike tracks are cool. It's a very niche thing. They pay well, but a lot of times I gotta drive so freaking far that money's good, but I don't like driving that far if I don't have to. Well, I'm sure I'll think of some more stuff to add to another video. But if you guys have any questions or have want any tips or anything else that I didn't mention in this video, please don't hesitate to ask or comment on my thing or look up my business page, M&M Earthworks. Earthworks is W-U-R-X. That's my business page on Facebook and Instagram. Or look me up on Facebook or Instagram, just Cole Morse. I'd be happy to try to help you with whatever I can. Again, I'm not the best at this. I'm not the most skilled at this, but I'm telling you real world advice, what I learned over the last year. So follow along with this culvert job. Oh boy. I'm gonna blaze a trail back to this forest with this. Got them skiddy. Finally met back here in the woods. Took us about, let's see, 11:30. Took us about only an hour. I figured it'd take longer than that to get back here. The 3-foot culvert stage up here. He's starting to excavate out the old material. This is an old creek crossing that goes back to people's hunting cabin. They want to get it redone. This original culvert down there was put in back in the late 70s. You can see it still works, but the erosion here was just so bad. Because over here they didn't maintenance it properly over the years. You can see it fell in and caved in and sunk in. So what we're going to do, there's a lot of chunk rock and riprap and old stuff they put in there. We're going to try to separate the riprap and the chunk rock, and then when we go back with the new culvert, we're going to put riprap around the intake, especially because this is part of what this happens, because this backed up and couldn't drain and it overflowed, like basically like overflowing a dam, and that's why this erosion happened on the backside. So I'll set up a time lapse and we'll get this thing dug out. All right, so we got the 2 old culverts tore out. After we finally found them, the thing is eroded so much. This whole thing is caved in. You can see it's actually eroded over on itself, which is not good. So we're gonna get this thing on grade, get it flowing right, and then get our new culvert in there. And then I'm thinking what we'll do after we get the culvert in there, we get a little bit on top of it, get it compacted in, tracked in, we'll come over and try to situate the excavator one way or the other and clean this up and slope these all up. But we don't know exactly what else could be in here. Like I said, this was done in the 70s. The customer only told me, I mean, that's a lot of water coming out of the ground. Holy cow.
They literally set this on top of the creek bed.
Huh?
They set that pipe on top of that creek bed and just covered it up.
Yeah, I don't think they didn't have an excavator, I don't think. I think they had like a little tractor. That was done, the original one was done in the 70s. So we're gonna have to find the bottom of this thing and then build a base of it with some of the stone we have here, or make it the hardest bottom as possible, and then lay the pipe in there and get it right. Doing now, this project, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video yet or not, this project's about a mile off the road, 3/4 mile to a mile off the actual county road, and it has an easement going through the neighbor's property. There's an old cabin back here, and you have to cut through a property to get here, which this road's not been, the road was built originally in the late 70s. It's not been maintained or really used since the early 2000s, I think, or mid 2000s. And there's a lot of, there's like number 2s and clay and stuff up there mixing the dirt, so we're trying to use that a little bit to backfill. But then up here there's a lot of clay, and the customer had told me if you need to cut this bank down and get the clay you need, you put back on top of that. So that's what we're doing. I got, as you can see, we found some pretty good dirt to go back on top and make it compact nice. Another thing, I would like to put riprap around it, but getting riprap back here would be just a logistical nightmare. I'd have to truck this skid steer back and forth, and it just wasn't in the customer's budget right now. So we just used the river rock that we dug out and try to separate in the big pieces of rock and put around the culvert as needed. So you'll see at the finished product, Jack, it doesn't look like a typical culvert that I would do. It doesn't have the nice new riprap around it, which bugs the crap out of me. I hate that. All right, we got it wrapped up. Like I said, I would like to use riprap, but that wasn't the customer's budget. But I'll give you some before and after pictures at the end of the video and let you see how it turned out. But we got the water flowing good. We got all the clay compacted around there, and yeah, hopefully this takes care of this guy's problem from years to come, because that was a deal. It took a little bit longer than we thought it would, but I'll give you guys a better shot down here. Oh yeah, heck yeah. That's about 13 foot from the highest point we were digging from, so it's pretty far. We had to do a lot of reaching. We tried to use all this big chunk river rock that was a creek bottom rock to put around it as we could, because like I said, we have riprap, but there's a lot of like twos. There's like twos and like clay shell rock mixed together, so we used a lot of that and like compacted it, and then went on top of it, and went on top of it, and dressed the sides up as much as we could. But our main concern was getting this smashed in there as best as possible. But definitely a lot better flow, and if you guys have any specific questions or want to know anything, feel free to leave a comment, or check out my personal Facebook or Instagram, my business Facebook or Instagram. I'm winded. I've been walking a lot. This is up and down a lot of hills. My big ass ain't cut out for this anymore. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.